please like and subscribe.
Hello, welcome to Joe's Medicine Tarot. I am Joe, and here you will find shamanic readings. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you like my style of reading, please subscribe. It's totally free. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your subscription. It does such a great service to the channel and to the algorithm. Let us get into the reading. Yeah, Creator, please protect this space, sacred space, and bring in the messages. Bring in the messages for the collective. Here we go. Injustice. So you could be the victim or at the receiving end of an injustice, or maybe you are witness to an injustice happening to somebody else. Maybe somebody thinks they've suffered an injustice from you. Yeah, it would be within somebody within your immediate culture or the community at large. And I feel that either whatever happens here, this injustice impacts somebody enough that it brings about a rebirth in some way, possibly in the areas of someone's willpower. Transformation, absolutely. Furthering the birth of someone's willpower is like the beginning birth of the relationship to themselves. Something very sacred, very holy, because it's holy. WHOLLY. It's holy. You are whole. So furthering on the process of transformation. And feels like a banishing, but we don't really banish anything. You know, it feels like we do. We just develop the presence of mind in the now moment. We develop the presence of mind in the now moment that how do I say this? We develop the presence of mind in the now moment that diminishes and releases the past from us and us from our hold on an idea of the past that doesn't even exist. It's in our own heads, you know. So we kind of keep ourselves hostage. So we develop the presence of mind where we release ourselves from an illusion of the past that has held us hostage. And I'm feeling it's not that you're banishing this, it's that whatever transformation is coming into play here, you are releasing yourself. Oh, binding. Look at that. Binding, to bind. Like the sweetgrass and the sage. So banishing, yes, it's developing the presence of mind to release yourself from a magnetic and gravitational hold to the past, to your pain, to the memories of your pain, to feelings that echo from your past, from unresolved traumas and wounds. But the fact that you're not necessarily even healing these wounds, but what you are doing is developing the presence of mind in the now moment that is diminishing this magnetic hold on you. And the more it diminishes and the more you become aware of what has held you captive and in orbit to a difficult cycle of your emotional processes, mental processes, maybe seeing your own addiction to negativity, to victim consciousness, to helplessness, a state of learned helplessness. That it allows you to see what is no longer working, how these dimensions have served you. And with you having a certain gratitude for these dimensions that you're letting go of, that no longer have the power and gravity to hold you in a certain state of mind, you can now give gratitude for them, which is like a kind of an incense. It's a kind of a fragrant incense that overtakes the odor of like lower dimension, like overtakes the odor of the victim, because you've rewritten that story. You've come through that experience of the victim, and now you're seeing how the victim has served you. How did it serve you? It taught you humility. It taught you powerlessness. It taught you helplessness. It taught you what it feels like to be cornered and trapped and small and all these things. And you had to develop the path of empowerment to neutralize this within yourself. You know, we can't just learn the higher dimensions. In order to get to the higher dimensions, we have to go through the lower. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. You know, and also the Holy Spirit's been showing me the two crosses beside Christ. And people only pay attention to the one thief on the one side of them that said, will you remember me when you're like, will you remember me? And Christ said, surely I say to you, you will be with me in paradise today. Yes, meaning now, the moment of now. It's the only thing that really exists is now, this moment. But what about the other thief who couldn't hear the now because he's stuck in the dimension of the past? That is the other side of this. We have to make room for that too. Christ is like the high priestess, standing holding the tension between those two crosses, those two realities, the one who chose to see and the one who refused to, who couldn't, because their mind was so loud they can't hear the subtle dimensions, even if they're higher dimensions. Okay, what's on the bottom of the deck? Again, awareness. This was on the bottom of the deck before too. That's interesting. Awareness. So there's definitely, you guys are coming into awareness. More awareness of yourselves, of your relationship to yourselves, your relationship to your own life force, psychology, psyche. What is an injustice, Creator? What is injustice? Injustice. What are these key words that you are bringing to the mind of the collective? Ace of Cups. Okay, so they're not saying what the injustice is. They're just saying whatever injustices this is, it's on the altar. Maybe it's your entire life is an injustice. Something has happened or a major part of your life, a major portion of your life. This is definitely entering into the realms of the High Priestess. Absolutely. It's on the bottom of the deck. Is the Four of Wands in reverse. So there's been something at work here. It's like the demonic and the angelic. Something at work here that has been opposing, something that kept you in inner conflict, or maybe with an inner conflict and then outer conflict with your family, with your community, with somebody. But it was some sort of a resistance training, because you had to know these dimensions. You have to know these dimensions exist. If we only bypass these areas and cling only to what's good and what's fair and what's light and what's airy-fairy and flowery and sweet, well, there's balance. Like the two crosses on either side of Christ. The two crosses on either side of Christ. There's got to be balance. It can't all be sweet. It can't all be a happy ending. It can't all be good. Okay, there's got to be the other side of that. So there's some sort of a opposition here that kept you in sort of resistance training, that was like under contract to keep you stuck in almost like in a pattern of self-sabotage. And I'm feeling like this is maybe the injustice of your life. Maybe this was for a large portion of your life. You know, it's true. We grow up in groups that suppress the expression and growth of the individual for the sake of the group's progress. Okay, for the sake of the group's own progress. So they will suppress your growth, and they'll suppress your voice for the sake of the group's voice and the growth of the group. This is just the entity of the group trying to sustain itself. And the people who are plugged into it are not aware that it's even an entity. They're not even aware of what they're plugged into. None of us are when we're in the group, until we begin to awaken. Okay, and that's it. Whatever's happened, some sort of you're awakening to the injustice that has been like having an awareness to some sort of sense that something is off. Something, I'm hearing even soul loss. And that's very common for many people, have had a sense of soul loss. And that for that piece of that soul to come back, you have to realign yourself. You can't stay in the same environments you've been in. If you're in a very toxic environment that caused your soul to leave from the trauma, you were emotional, physical, whatever trauma you had experienced, there was an intelligence at work that removed a portion of your soul in self-preservation. And that part of you will come back, but may require you to realign yourself into a much healthier environment. Because the soul may say, I'm not coming back into that environment. So if you want me back, you're going to have to provide the environment in which I can grow, a healthy environment. And that's it. It's up to the most conscious person in a relationship to create the safe space in which both people, or in which everybody can grow, the people that are in that space, so that everybody can grow. But if you keep yourself in an environment that doesn't feel safe or empowering or friendly or emotionally stable, how are you supposed to grow in that? How are you supposed to develop trust? How are you supposed to let your guard down when you can finally show up? Most of us are too busy fulfilling a role to survive that we don't really even know, or haven't known anyway, what it means to truly show up. We just come with all our masks and all of our baggage, but to show up means we got to let all the armor off and show up as we are, vulnerable and naked. Symbolically, of course. I'm not telling you to go anywhere naked, okay? This is symbolic, okay? So, so whatever injustice has happened here, it's on the altar. You're ready to let go. You're ready to let go. It's like, it's time. You're ready. whatever this wound is, or memory, or relationship to part of your soul, it's reached a culmination where it's transforming into something else now. It's ready to be done with this stage of its progress, the stage of its journey. It's on the altar. And this leads you into understanding the dimensions of the culture, understanding that the culture is often operating out of its own pain. I'm feeling like you're somebody that gave the culture a lot of power, like you believed that everybody else had more knowledge than you, was more aware than you, was more powerful than you, was more strong than you, was more mature than you, was more farther along than you, etc., etc. And the more you're knowing yourself, you're kind of seeing that that wasn't always necessarily true. You just were so busy listening to an old narrative that you never really saw yourself and how strong you are, how clear you are, how conscious you are, how aware you are. Okay. And your ability to see the culture as it is in its own woundedness and self-deceptiveness, stuck in its own whirlwind, helps your rebirth, because you don't have to change them, and you're certainly not depending on the culture for permission to change and transform. So in a way, this allows you to let go even further and evolve. You're free to evolve. You're free to evolve. And with the rebirth, I'm feeling you're entering into higher dimensions. See the bird that's landing in her hand, like you're entering into higher dimensions of yourself, the higher dimensions of your consciousness. New understanding coming in. The experiences you're going through you're now understanding them. Now your brain is starting to catch up to all of this. The insights are starting to come in about where you've been, what you've been going through, strengthening your willpower. Strengthening your willpower and continuing and giving you the strength to move on, move forward, keep going, keep moving ahead. Keep moving ahead, keep moving, going furthermore into the transformation. And I'm hearing transmutation of the rabbit. The rabbit multiplies. It's a sign of fertility. It's a sign of the rabbits are also, they're very intelligent. They're aware of the predators. They're aware of predatorial nature. So rabbits are intelligence. Like that whole rabbit smoking a pipe on the other side of is the panther. And the rabbit smokes the pipe because he knows he is smarter than the panther. So there's an awareness here because the rabbit holds the mystery of the high priestess knowledge, the spiral. You put two opposites together, you get a spiral. Light and dark, good and evil, and the spiral is unending cosmic evolution. And this is in the pinnacle. So this is in the experience of your life, the culmination of your experiences, understanding further who you are, where you've come from, where you're going. And it feels like you're banishing areas of your life, but you're not banishing them. You are creating the presence of your mind where you can see these areas of yourself. You can see your jealousy, your fear, your martyrdom, your insecurity. You can see these dimensions of yourself. And they're losing their power over you. They're losing their power in your life. They're losing their hold on you. Their gravity, because of your presence of mind in the now moment, in the present moment. You have presence. And you being aware of these things and seeing them, it's like you're developing a relationship, like just like Thich Nhat Hanh says, when you're wounded and your wounds, you pick them up and put them on your lap and rock them like little children. So it's like you're coming further into a relationship with more of your experiences, and you're burning them as you're holding them on your lap and grieving with them, understanding how they have served you. Because I feel like you're going into a whole new arena, a whole new area. You're entering into a whole new area, a whole new arena of your experience, maybe of your career, vocation, home life, work life, people life. I don't know, but I'm feeling like it's a whole new cycle. And there are certain beliefs and habits and mindsets that are getting peeled from you that won't work where you're going. They worked where you've been, but they won't work where you're going. So it's like something that has kept you out of alignment with you. You have brought yourself back into alignment by not expecting the world to align with you, but now you are aligning with the world and the things that have happened to yourself through understanding how they have strengthened you, how these experiences have strengthened you, how these experiences and culmination of your life and your hardships and your suffering, how it has strengthened you, honed your skill of knowing yourself. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, let's pull a demonic and the binding. So you understanding these things, but then understanding that the insecurities and the things in yourself that you fed, like your fear, your insecurity, playing small, diminishing yourself, self-deprecation, you fed these areas of yourself because you were part of a group and it was easier to blend into the group by not standing out. Okay? Even if it kept you in competition with everybody else in the group. It was kind of agonizing too. But you're seeing these dimensions of yourself that can't come forward, and you are gathering them up, naming them, braiding them or bundling them into a bundle of sage or a braid of sweetgrass. This is all symbolic. And burning them. What does it mean to burn them? Is when you overtake your odor of being a victim. Who knows what that smells like, but that's what incense and that whole Exodus chapter 30, when the priest swings the incense scepter and overtakes the room with a certain fragrance that assimilates heaven, quote unquote heaven. These are all symbols, okay? They're not literal, okay? And the ingredients are the hardest parts of your life that you now bind and enact the high priestess energy within you by holding space for these areas. The duality was taking place within the whole of your life. There you are, honoring the duality and the unity, because the duality was a unity in the yin-yang image of it unfolding and spiraling in the whole of your life through your experiences, through you. You are the yin-yang. Okay? And you now making room for these areas of your life and how they have served you, made you strong. Is you burning this incense, which what does sage do? It cleanses the negativity out of the room. So sage will cleanse the negativity of your taking your life personal and being a victim. It now cleans that out of the room because you're no longer a victim. You've rewritten that and breathed new meaning into that. Whatever happened to you made you strong. Another, with the Ten of Pentacles here too, it strengthened and sharpened your mind. The presence of mind means you can utilize your mind very clear in the present moment. You're not like distracted in the past or thinking about the future or thinking about 2 minutes ago, and you're like everywhere else except here now. If this has sharpened your mind, this has refined your consciousness and brought you home to you, it's going to be harder to go back to sleep. It's going to be harder to be unconscious. It's the sweetness of returning home, but there's also, sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes we want to escape and run. But our hiding places, it's like we've grown too big and we're like, I don't know if you've ever seen Mighty Joe Young. It's like a kid version of King Kong in a way, and starring Charlize Theron and Bill Paxton, where she's meant to look after with her mother. They grew up in the jungles of Africa, and they were like guardians of the apes in the jungle. And there was one ape that was like a fulfillment of some sort of a prophecy, and he grew huge like King Kong. And Charlize Theron, as a girl growing up in the jungle with her mother, who was a guardian of these apes, Charlize Theron then took over that role, and she grew up with this little ape that was huge among his apes. And they were playing hide and seek, and he's hiding behind this bamboo pole, but he's like huge. The bamboo pole's really thin, and he's hiding, covering his eyes with his hands. And she's like, "Where's Joe?" And of course she can see him, but he thinks she can't, That's what I mean. You've grown too big for your hiding places. Your hiding places don't work anymore. The places you used to sleep or go to sleep in and hide in, distract yourself in, you could lose yourself in this distraction. It doesn't work anymore. You've grown beyond it. You're too big for it. It's like a little kid trying to put on their favorite pajamas and they don't fit in it. And how heartbreaking that is, Okay, let's do a demonic card now. What is the demonic energy creator that is here to oppose the collective in their growth as resistance training? Nope, it's that way. Oh, wow. Okay, number 3, Visago. Number 4 of Wands. This is Jupiter, Aries. Oof. Visago. Holy smoke. That kind of got me right on my belly. Visago. Okay, what is an angelic energy? Let's look at that. There we go. Visago. Okay. The angelic is Alahaya, the high priestess. Yes. What did I just say here? So Visago, let's see, what is Visago? So the high priestess is God, the eternal lasting, the high priestess. This is number 44. This card is success, protection from magistrates. What is magistrates? Magistrates. Magistrates, a civil officer or lay judge who administers the law, especially one who conducts a court that deals with minor offenses and holds preliminary hearings for more serious ones. Okay, maybe some of you guys are involved in some sort of a legal battle. You've got protection here. So whatever this is, it feels like some sort of resistance or attack over your life. In some way, it's affecting you and triggering your defenses. Okay, Visago, celebration. So this card kept you from celebrating your life and kept you from the clarity of introverted vision, your introverted vision. Yes, the Four of Wands. Oh my God, this card was here to oppose your Four of Wands. And that's exactly what showed up on the bottom here is the Four of Wands. And Visago was here to oppose your sense of self, harmony within yourself and harmony within your community. And whatever happened here, maybe this is like the court of the social system you were in, social systems model and idea of justice, but you are protected because I feel like you are going through an experience that is like, it's a rebirth, it's a transformation. I feel like it's sending ripples out in your culture, that you are protected from the backlash of that. And whatever touches us, we're all protected. Whatever touches us has been determined, and we determined it for our own growth. Okay, and that's part of the opposition and resistance to training that is here to make us like Lippinzahner stallions. There's nowhere to go but up. You can't run to the side or to forward or back or to the right or to the left. You know, the Lippinzahner stallions are penned in very tight pens, very tight. And when the trainer whips the horse on the back of the legs, it wants to run this way or left or right or back, and it can't. All it can do is leap in the air. That's the same with where we are right now. We're going through an astrological crossroads where there's nowhere to turn. The only where to turn is inward and upward. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading. If you like my style of reading, please like and subscribe. And if you want to become a medicine keeper, it's $2.99 a month. And thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next reading. All righty.